Well, there's always a special bond between a father and a daughter, and it's kind of something you can't describe until you have one. And this episode started about 10 years ago. Yeah, that's me in the blue suit with a hairnet. But to go in and be there when Carson was born was something I'll never forget. And when you're there and you hold him for the very first time, it just creates something special in you that you can't describe to anyone unless they've been through it.
As hunters, we're misunderstood as people that dislike animals. I love animals, and I spend most of my time outdoors with them. I grew up on a ranch, and the life that we lived was simple. It's a life that most people aren't lucky enough to enjoy. Hunting's in my DNA. My ancestors hunted to survive, and what they passed on to me is imperative that I pass along to my family. The harvest of an animal does so much for us as humans. It creates a food source for us while strengthening the population. It is my responsibility to manage nature and help create a better ecosystem. That's just my life as a hunter.
You know, I had so much fun with her when she was tiny. I started her with a Nerf bow, and then she got the kids' bow, and she was always out here. And here's her first attempt at Blue Collar Adventures.
Hi, I'm Carson off of Blue Collar Adventures, and I'm gonna shoot a deer, and I spot one right now. Like that?
Yep.
Oh my God.
That'll work. Good shot.
I've been hunting with my dad for about 7 years, and he would take me out to the blind or the barn or other places, and we would go and we would hunt stuff and hunting turkeys, and he would hunt deer.
Been waiting a long time. Last year we tried to hunt. I got her first deer rifle, and she got out here and we practiced and we got it right. And I got confident that she could make a good shot. We just never had the opportunity. And so she was ready this year. She'd been talking about it, and you know, she got a turkey on the ground earlier this season, so it's time to graduate to a deer.
Out in the middle. My dad got me this gun, and it was an awesome gun because he cut it just right for me and where it won't kick. And last year we tried so hard to try and get one.
Autumn Antlers has been just an amazing place for me. Special memories, great people, and we've just bonded over the last few years. And this year they said, hey, Carson needs to shoot her first buck here. And it seemed to be a perfect time. It's beautiful, it's up north, and these are amazing people I wanted to introduce her to. And she got here and she just ran the show from the start. Headed to Autumn Antlers, and it took me my whole life to get a chance to come to a place like this. And now I'm getting to pass it on to my daughter who's 10. And that's what it's about, is trying to get our kids to a better place quicker than we were. And I got to do more than my dad. His dad tried to do it for him, so that's kind of the pass on. We all want our kids to have better than we did. And I had it pretty good, so I can't complain. But I didn't get to shoot a whitetail in Minnesota until I was like 40. She's 10. That's okay. Because you live once, and you take great opportunities when they come.
I've been wanting to come here ever since my dad started coming here, because he would come home and talk about it all the time until the next year. Then he would come back and talk about it all the time again. And it just went on, and I was like, I want to go there all the time. And he's like, maybe next year, and then he would say it again. And then they invited me down here, and it's super fun.
Enjoy nature. You'll probably see some squirrels. You ready for this, Carson? Your first deer hunt. This place is pretty rough. When you pull in the driveway and here's Anita on the porch waving, like it's coming home to see family. That's why we come here.
Blue Collar Adventures, proudly sponsored by Taco Casa. Real fresh, real food, real good. Ice Hole Coolers. When your ice is on the line. Spot Hog. The world's toughest archery products. Accurate Arms Rifles. Vortex Optics, the force of optics. Traeger Wood Pellet Grills. Compton Custom Rifles.
We were down at the gun range. Carson was getting dialed in. I mean, she impressed these guys. She made great shots. She's worked on it.
I can see it. Pretty close.
You got it in pretty dead center. You feel good? Okay. Take your safety off and then take your time and get back dead center. I want this one to punch the X out. Nice. Nice
job,
trigger
Ed.
pull.
That is a bullseye. Nice.
Put my Insights Nutrition out. And this is just something to kind of help them stop and get a shot at them. It's worked everywhere we've tried it, and this will be the first time we brought it to Minnesota. Three o'clock in the mornings when we got up to make it here, and I'm used to this schedule. But we get out to the blind and it's kind of slow, and I can see Carson is exhausted. So we sit, we see a few bucks, get her excited. In the morning, I think I'm gonna let her sleep in and kind of get caught up. She's 10, so you can't have a grumpy 10-year-old in the blind. So it's time for Crystal to go out and see if we can find one of those sheep. It happens to be her birthday, and another lady that had come to hunt, a friend of Blue Collar Adventures, I guess you say. They saw the show and they decided to book here, and they're all here at the same time. And we had a special evening just for these ladies to have their birthday.
Happy birthday, Carson and Colleen. Happy birthday to you.
Set, go.
Yeah.
And the lodge is just beautiful in here, and they take really good care of us here. The food is wonderful. Anita are really buddies because she always makes me the stuff I want to eat, and she went to town and got me lemonade, and she's just really nice and sweet.
Yes, yeah.
Denny is really funny, and that's the one word of him. There's probably a lot of, but he's funny, he's nice, he's generous, and he's really fun.
Jay thought it'd be cool to have an all-girls hunt, so I was really excited to get to hunt with Carson.
I've always been here in nature blinds, and they're the most outstanding ground blinds there is. But this year they put in what's called a Citadel blind. And Crystal and I decided to go hunt the sheep. We got in the Citadel. It's kind of nice because it gets you up off the ground and the windows are angled down. And let me tell you, this is the ultimate elevated bow blind.
These turkeys came in and paid us a visit, and Jay had to mess with them and get them gobbling and walking around the blind. That was pretty cool.
Had a little fun with these turkey, and next thing you know, I start seeing a mouflon ram sneak through the woods.
Super excited. And I ranged all these spots, but there was only one spot in between these two trees that I could actually get a clean shot. So when they started coming down the trail, I knew I would have to draw and wait until one of them stopped.
This is pressure. Now, I've been behind the bow a lot, and there's a lot of pressure there, but when you're the camera guy, it's totally different. You can't miss the shot. You got to make sure you're on the right animal, and these things are coming single file.
I drew back, and held it for, it seemed like a long time. And one of them came through really fast, and then they all started to fight, and they all balled up right where I had a good shot, clean shot. So I didn't want to just sling an arrow out there and not make a good shot with all their bodies standing there. So I just let them go, and they kind of milled around and went out to the food plot.
Blue Collar Adventures, proudly sponsored by Kuyu Ultralight Hunting. Newmont Mining Corporation, demonstrating leadership and safety and stewardship of the environment. Rigid Industries, LED lighting. Hornaday, accurate, deadly, dependable. Tough Country, quality, custom, American made. Nature Blinds, the most realistic hunting blinds on the planet.
So if we got big deer, we got them coming in the field, the deer are really starting to move. Carson's rested, she's excited, and I'm nervous because it could happen tonight. We get one buck, he's a little further than she's been practicing, but her confidence is high. She says, "Dad, I can get him." And before she gets a chance at him, he goes out in the woods and he's gone. And just about that time, here's a little buck we've been looking at for her. He's a really great first buck. He steps out into the field. Everything's on the opposite side of the blind than we need it, than we set up for. Crystal's shooting through a glass window. I've got Carson slid down the rail, and now it's up to Carson. In that moment that you let them go and you let them do it on their own, that's so hard to let go.
He told me to just not flinch, and Crystal told me to hold my breath. So I held my breath.
She made a great shot.
The deer was very beautiful, and I was so blessed to be able to shoot this beautiful animal. And all the meat he's going to provide us, it's just amazing.
I'm not a great teacher, but she's a great learner. Everything I've taught her and we've talked about over and over, she made it all work. The way she stayed on her gun, she made a good shot, and she's excited. I didn't know how she was going to be when it all happened, but just like the turkey hunt, she's fired up. She can't wait to get out of the blind. We got to see the deer go down in the woods, and it was a blur. Like, I had to really watch the footage back to realize what just happened. And you know, Jay and I were bumping into each other in the blind. Crystal's trying to get out the window, but Carson stayed calm. She's got her buck down. It's time to go take a look at him.
My pants are falling down. Oh, where is he?
Are you excited? Are you shaking?
Yes, I'm so excited, and I'm shaking like crazy.
What makes it cool that you shot a deer?
Because I was with all these nice people here in Minnesota at Autumn Antlers.
Yeah. Well, tell me really what you think.
You
want to go see your deer?
Yes.
Look
Holy.
at those antlers. Grab his horns. Let's see what you got. What?
I can't really pick them up.
Your first deer? What a beautiful buck. Huh?
Holy cow.
You know what I like to do, baby?
What?
I like to just sit here and tell him thanks for his life and that he provided us some deer meat. What a beautiful animal, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Birdie. Gosh, you made a good shot.
Thank you.
What a good buck.
Thank
I love
you.
him. You want to take your picture with him?
Yeah.
That's a good shot.
Speeding 1,000 miles per hour. Like, really fast.
Was it worth coming up here and skipping school?
Yeah, totally. I got all my homework done, teachers.
In our lives, we have to be super thankful for having stuff happen that most everybody doesn't. It's called being blessed.
And that is an awesome deer.
Doug is really fun, and so he was really fun all day, or when I met him, and he was really nice to me. And I said thank you, and he said, "Why are you saying thank you all the time?" I hope I get to come back next year. He said, "I get to come back here next year," and I'm so excited.
Blue Collar Adventures, proudly sponsored by Cinnamon Creek Ranch Ultimate Archery, Freedom Power Sports, Carbon Express, Boneworks Custom Knives, Insights Wildlife Nutrition Solutions, Capital Hatters Custom Felt Hats, Capri Camper, most affordable camper on the road.
It was Crystal's turn, and we go out. She's a bow hunter. She's a great bow hunter. And we get in different stands. We're seeing lots of big whitetail, enjoying setting. And it's just hard to get on these rams. They travel all day long, and you just got to be in the right place at the right time. We can't get them in front of us. We sit in a ladder stand. We get back in the Citadel.
They wouldn't present a shot for me. It seemed like they switched spots on us every time and outsmarted us. We did see a lot of deer, and it was just so beautiful to be out in the fall weather up there. Just the fall time, the cold air, just felt like home. And our guide takes us back to that awesome blind. It's really cold. I can barely pull my bow back because I have so many clothes on. Finally, Jay spots the sheep, but they don't come in close enough for a bow shot. They kind of just mill around, and they go out in this food plot. We kind of do this sneak around to try to stay downwind from them because the wind was blowing everywhere, and it was really crunchy from all the fall leaves, so it was really hard to be quiet, especially it's with a camera person. It's so much harder to have two people crunching through the leaves. You gotta get super close. Finally, Jay spots one of them, and we see him in there. They're in that food plot, and they're kind of like rubbing their horns on this tree. They're all balled up, just messing around. So I decided not to be picky and try to take the first really good shot that I had. I held it right on him. As soon as the rams cleared, I just held right behind his shoulder and squeezed, held my breath and squeezed. Maybe I didn't do a very good shot. So we looked and we split up, and Jay went up the hill, was looking through the trees, and we tried to follow their tracks, and we just really couldn't tell which way they went. And finally, Jason was like, "There's a horn!" And there was like a deadfall tree, and you could just barely see the tops of his horns, and I was stoked.
Yes.
Something about a sheep, like I've always been intrigued by them. I shot a Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep in Idaho. I was lucky enough to draw a tag, a once-in-a-lifetime tag, and I've just always liked sheep. And so I was really excited to get to try to shoot a mouflon. And I just feel really blessed. And thanks to Jay for letting me hunt. I really enjoy going with him and seeing him hunt. And it's just, I feel really blessed that we can do it together, because he likes to do the same kind of things I like to do, and we're both camera nerds and we both love to hunt, and it was really fun. It was awesome. Every year that we have come back, it's just been so much fun, an amazing trip, and everybody is just like family at the lodge. Carson's been having a heck of a time. And Anita is an awesome cook, and Doug and Denny and Jason. I just really appreciate everybody, and I can't wait to come back again. Even if I am just the camera girl or the hunter, it's just an amazing experience to be here. And this year it's so pretty with all the fall leaves starting. It's just a really neat place. Always remember your first hunts with your dad, the stories that stay with you forever. And for me to be a part of it with Carson and Jay was just really special to me.
My plans for the future are I'm going to be a part of the show still with my family and have fun. I think my dad is going to have me hunting out here a lot now because I had so much fun, and I want to come back here next year and all the years after that.
You're out doing a hunting show, you go when you have the opportunity, and a big part of what I do is I always try and give back. And I want Carson to know that when Dad's gone sometimes, it's to help people out, and I'm so glad that she gets it. It's hard. It's hard to miss your family. It's hard to miss your little girl. It's hard to talk to her on the phone from a hunting camp. I love what I do. I'm very blessed to get to go hunt. But, you know, family's first.
That looks really fun, and it's very nice of him to go out there and help those kids with disabilities and help them do the stuff they've always wanted to do, like the wheelchair hunts. It makes me feel like when he's out there helping other people and I'm still at home, it makes me miss him, but I know he's helping other people, so it makes me feel kind of good inside, and that he's doing nice things for other people. It makes me want to do it too.